Alright everyone, welcome back to the Samui Swine Classic presented by Innova Champion Discs. We saw Philo Brathwaite go 9 under on the first lap of 11 holes. We're back for the second lap of the first round. Hole 12, 144 feet. You are not reading that wrong. It is a triple Mando speed control hole.
Yeah, this one is really simple, but it makes you, it just puts you inside your head and makes you, second guess how hard do I need to throw this to get it there. Johan actually throws it a little bit deep, and he's going to have that little palm to deal with on his putt.
That's going to be a real tough putt.
Philo going for the standstill. Little hot coming in as well. He's going to have the palm in his way as well, but he's going to be able to straddle out to the side and probably have an open look.
I like this angle right here from the basket. Oh yeah, and that is thrown to perfection. Stand still, lefty forehand.
Pin high, about 20 to the left.
All right.
Great hit on that one.
These baskets were actually welded on this island, believe it or not.
Wow.
And they catch pretty well. Oh,
ooh,
wow.
That's a great little trick putt right there.
Spin for the win through the palm.
Philo now with a similar putt, but not quite as much in his way. He makes easy work of that, and he's moving up to 10 under through 12 holes. I'm curious to see if he's going to maintain that same momentum that he did on the front 11 holes. That was crazy to watch, and he's already got a good start going. Hole 13, this one's 279 feet. This one is, like we said earlier, the trickiest one on the course as far as hitting the gap, I think. This one, you have to be straight for a good portion of it and then a slight right turn. If you turn too much, there is OB on the right. There's an early Mando on the left, and there's OB deep and OB left.
Oh, no way. So Johan throws 2 beautiful looking drives on this hole and gets denied both times. It shows you just how tight this one actually is up there by the pin. Philo going rock here. Oh, and to be able to shape that backhand, you kind of have to push that first palm tree on the left.
But just a little bit early out of his hand. We saw Yutaro throw this one perfectly pin high. Oh, same disc, but this one he turned a little bit too much. Does get a good kick back over towards the basket, but he's going to be short and way left. Oh, and that one just came out way early from Teemu. He might have even found the OB way left over there. There's a little gravel dirt road over there.
This is a tricky approach right here.
And Philo has a can of Coca-Cola by his feet that he grabbed from the clubhouse.
Oh, wow. What a shot from Philo.
Amazing.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Philo loves his Coke.
Yeah, and it's, we were talking about this on part 1, that it's fun after that first 11 holes. You can run by the clubhouse, get a drink, a smoothie.
Get your refreshments.
And, that just shows you how relaxed this tournament is. He's carrying a can of Coke around with him and just feeling at home on this island.
And there is a...
What?
Oh, my goodness. From a standstill, Johan...
From 50.
Wow.
Or 55 even.
Look at him
that
walk
was
that
amazing.
one in. That was a huge putt.
And we saw him have some early putting struggles on the front lap. And so already 2 huge putts on this back lap. He's trying to turn this thing around. He ended the first lap with 4 consecutive birdies, and he's already got 2. So he has 6 birdies in a row right now to be 6 under par.
And that's Philo's putt back at it for a par after a great recovery shot. And in the background, you can see that's a pretty common sight to see some Thais cruising on the mopeds.
Yeah.
That is the most common form of transportation in Thailand.
It's really cool to roll up to the course on motorbikes, and
It's too much fun.
you got your bag on your back, you take your helmet off, and you're already ready to play. And grab some of Nigel's famous barbecue. This is sponsored by Nigel's Barbecue, hole 14. This is, like you said, the biggest scoring separation on a hole. You can easily get a 2, but also very easy to get a 4, or even putt one OB and take a 5. The OB comes into play.
To get down. Oh, and he just straightens that one out over the wall.
That is going to ruin his little birdie streak he had going, but he can still easily save a par from there. That OB's, what, 8 feet behind the basket?
Proceed to a drop zone,
it is a drop
actually.
zone. You're correct. That OB's so close to the basket.
You can see that wind blowing from right to left.
Oh,
Philo
wow.
puts his AVR 10 feet away for the birdie.
Oh, that looked like Justin Bilodeau right there. Whoa.
And this looks great as well. It's the roll forward a bit.
He'll have a little bit of a straddle putt, but he's close.
And that needs to get down. And it does, just short of the line.
Yeah.
So this is like a 60-footer, but you're also putting straight toward the OB wall. So you kind of have to choose whether or not you're feeling this one.
Yeah, and it's not one you want to bogey, and it's an inside circle too, like you said. So it's one of those ones where you're like, should I run this and chance a double OB? Or should I try to save a par? Oh, and Yutaro just missed that one a tiny bit on the wide side. Teemu with a nice birdie pickup there. Philo grabbing another birdie after that par in the last hole. You could see him shaking his head. He was upset with the par, and I think we talked about it already, but you don't want to get too many pars out here.
No, he's always hungry. And he is hungry for redemption on hole 15. It's only 305 feet, but it's so tricky to hit this gap right here. There's one gap on the right that's maybe 4 feet across, a gap on the left that's maybe 5 or 6 feet across. Very hard to pick one of those lines from the tee pad.
We saw him go the straight gap,
which is probably the smallest one of the 3.
Yeah, and this was one of his 2 pars. So
there it is. There it is. Oh.
It's just so tight.
A foot to the left, and that is par tee. He went with a faster disc on that. I believe a T-bird he just threw.
Teemu going for that same gap, but a little bit early out of his hands. He's going to hit an earlier tree. Tara threw a great sidearm on this one earlier.
And this is probably the biggest gap of the bunch, this forehand Anheuser play over there on that left side. But it's still a very fine line between turning it over too much into the ground and getting the angle that you need. And that is roped from Johan. Wow.
That was picture perfect right there.
That's the way that you draw it up. You think that was from the disc? No way. Could have been. Could have scooted up there. That disc was spinning.
Teemu with a slow approach right under the basket. And same thing with Philo. So this is where Yutaro's sidearm landed. He's almost pin high, but he's way over there to the left. Like you said, he just got a little bit too much turn on that one.
Wow. That is a park job right there from Johan.
On the deep side, too. It's what a way to recover from that last hole. So he's now gotten 7 birdies in the last 8 holes, Johan. Really turn this round around. Round around.
Round around.
All right, and Philo will stay at 11 under.
All right, moving into hole 16, the only par 4 on the property, 627 feet. You can see there are a few different lanes to take. There is OB on the right at the tree line. There's also OB on the left that kind of shapes the left side of the fairway and closes around the pin. Really beautiful hole.
Yeah, it is. I really like this one. It's so picturesque with all the palm trees, so tall. You can really, every player on the whole in the whole tournament can throw a different line with all these different palm trees.
This is
wow.
Huge. And Johan, whatever nerves he had coming into this round, he has left those behind, and he is really throwing the shots that he's capable of throwing.
That was such a beautiful line. Philo, on the other hand, is going with the wider, low hyzer.
Yeah, that's kind of the more conservative play. You can still get in a great position. He's kind of just taking that OB out of play with that low hyzer shot.
Yeah, and he was a little bit pinched earlier on the last loop and was too close to the bushes and had to throw a tricky approach. So maybe he's trying to get in better position for an easier approach.
So that stayed in the air a little too long, and he's going to be in a similar spot that we saw Philo last round, kind of pinched on that right side.
Taro looking for the same line that Johan went, but he gets it a little too nose up and it filters out left OB.
That is the mistake you can't make on this hole, is letting it hyzer out too much.
He's going to be way back here.
Oh
with
no.
A very difficult shot. And finds a tree not even halfway to the basket. So best case scenario, he's looking at a 5.
So we saw Philo have to take that small right gap. It looks like he's lining up the wide anhyzer this time around. Punches the rock out there, but just didn't look like it had the height it needed to kind of work back from left to right. It's going to be outside circle 1 for sure.
I think he misjudged the distance on that one. It's definitely a shot that he has in his bank. He just didn't give that enough power or height. Teemu, it looked like he was lining up a roller there, forehand roller around the corner. It didn't quite get an edge and cut to the right.
And Johan also forced to go on the right side, and you can see the window is there, but it's just so much smaller. It's low ceiling.
Wow, that's how it's done.
And a beautiful recovery shot from Yutaro.
If he can hit that putt, he just stays at single bogey, and after 2 mistakes like that would be great. Teemu not quite following through on that one. Came out a little early and hyzered. Got a tester now.
Okay, so Philo almost got to pin high. He's just outside the circle. Looks like the wind has calmed down just a bit.
Tiny bit more push off that leg. He would have had the power to get it center.
Oh,
all right.
Wow.
Great putt. Now I was surprised to see, with Johan's great drive, how much work there still is left on this hole.
Yeah, takes 2 good shots on this one for sure. It's really cool that there's even a par 4 out here on this island. And especially one as fun and legitimate as this one.
Now this next hole is just as picturesque, I feel, but it's a par 3. This one is birdieable, but it is a rip. It's 436 feet.
Yeah, we saw Philo get his destroyer all the way down there and actually convert for a pretty rare birdie.
There is OB deep and OB left and OB right. So you do have to keep it in the center of these palm trees.
Yeah, you can see there's a pretty wide window on the right. The only danger is if you turn it over too much going for that window, kick one of those palms, it tends to kick to the right and out of bounds.
Philo likes this Anheuser gap down the left side, though. He's bringing a lot more trees into play, but I feel like it might be safer.
Yeah, it brings these early palms into play. The gap is wide. I mean, it's a wide gap for someone as skilled as Philo. And you can see that left to right wind just getting up under that wing and kind of shoving it out to the right. It was a very similar angle that he released it on for the birdie the first lap.
Yeah. You could see right out of his hand, though, he knew it wasn't going to be exactly what he wanted. It is pin high, but that's well outside circle 2.
That Teemu just got a beautiful full flight out of that lefty backhand. That was fun to watch.
Even got that late skip towards the basket. He's going to be in great position to run that putt. And that's kind of more of the typical route, but you want it to be a little bit flatter and traveling forward more.
Oh no, get left.
Oh. So close to great, but a little bit too wide. Gonna have a long putt to save par. Looks like he's actually throwing it.
Oh no, and he's left a circle's edge putt for his bogey.
Should have easy work to pick up that par from Yutaro. Oh, and Philo gets that one way up there. A little bit too high. He's going to be right beside Johan. They're going to have a putt off over here, left side, pin high.
And that was Teemu's putt for birdie. Just pushed to the little left side. And this is a big putt for Johan to not double this hole. That is going to sting after he worked so hard to get to where he's at.
Yeah. Philo now trying to save par. And he hits it. Great par save, but at this point in the loop, he's already carded double the amount of pars that he carded in the last loop.
Whoa.
That's a crazy thought. He's probably, when you start out so hot and then you kind of just get stagnant in the round, it's slightly frustrating, even if you are at 11 under. Got a lot of birdies coming up, though. All right, and there's another family coming by on a motorbike. Like you said, a common sight. There's lots of homes right here.
Two is about half capacity.
Yep.
We've definitely seen a family of 4 and even 5 on a motorbike.
Yep, and you see this path that you can see right now. It's actually
public road.
Yeah, they drive right through that to go home.
And every now and then you'll get a Thai who's driving through and likes to stop and watch us throw. So it's a pretty cool deal.
This hole 18, 344 feet. There is a Mando on the left side, about halfway down the fairway. Philo even better than he threw it the first go around.
I thought that was low out of his hand, but it just that wind just held it up, and
That was beautiful.
Money drive from Philo.
Yeah, and this one,
Oh no.
another early release from Teemu. Oh, and you could just see the disappointment. Even still, he's hunched over, just wishing he could get that one back. This is, I feel, the more common route, the turnover with something overstable. Philo just went dead straight at it, though. That was just incredible flight path he took.
Well,
Johan.
Johan ripped that shot. He's almost on hole 8's tee pad over there to the right.
Pin high, but way over there to the right. He's not going to have a good chance of hitting that putt from in those bushes.
Okay, decent recovery shot from Teemu. He's going to have a circle's edge putt for his par.
All right under the basket, easy par. See if Yutaro can hit this for birdie.
Oh.
No distractions at all. Just a couple bikes and now to save par from Teemu. Yes.
Wow.
Great putt. We saw him hit a great putt a few holes ago too. I feel like his putt's keeping him in it right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keeping him under par.
Philo giving the love.
And another good par save. Philo just slow rolling up to this park job.
That is a money drive with that glow rock 3. Again, it's just so cool that we get to kind of look back in time at the start of Philo's year.
Yeah.
Because if you look, go check out Philo's stats. He is playing some incredible golf with the best disc golf athletes in the world. He's 40 years old now and competing at this top level. So it's really cool to see. And this is kind of a part of the 2020 history right here. This is the start of his year. He's going DX rock here.
Probably exactly perfectly pin high, 312 feet on this one. If you are deep, you will be out of bounds, so it was good speed control there from Philo. Just a tiny bit left, but he'll have it inside the circle look. And that gap that both Philo and Teemu went down are that's definitely the gap you want to take. It's the biggest gap. There is a Mando on the right side about halfway down. You see Yutaro going for that same gap, but pulling it a tiny bit wide there. Gets a good skip back towards the basket.
And Johan actually has the power to go putter on this 300-foot par 3.
That was a great flip up to flat, and it just continued riding forward, but he's going to be a little bit on the right side. So everyone's on the sand. Everyone's on the green.
Just a little low. That putt is kind of downhill. Can make you think about maybe running it long.
Johan's actually a lot closer than I thought he was.
Yeah, that putter just kept penetrating forward. Got all the way to pin high.
Great putt there, moving him up to 4 under.
And you called it there, Paige. That rock shot from Philo was pretty much perfectly pin high.
Oh no!
Oh no! And
Looks
that is
like he had a little bit of a slick hand there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of sand on this green. I imagine that might be one of the factors for that miss.
I mean, honestly, in that position as a player, at least for myself, I just think at least that was for birdie. At least that short miss, I can still take a par on it. So that was one of Philo's only mistakes of the round so far. So hopefully he can hold his head high moving into this birdie alley that you talk about.
And we're moving right into it. Hole 20, only 213 feet. There is OB left. There's also OB deep if you cook this one. It's so simple that it becomes difficult.
Absolutely. Ooh.
That,
and the low ceiling,
that
too.
That tree kind of forces the low ceiling shot. You can't just dump something high onto this bucket. You have to keep it low.
We saw Johan hit the basket on this one earlier.
Look at that.
Oh.
That is 2 perfect shots on this hole from Johan.
He's got this one on lockdown.
And Philo going with that standstill again, correcting on his miss on this hole from the first lap.
Again, perfectly pin high, just like the last hole. Got a good depth perception, I feel like.
Yeah, he has the distances dialed, among other things.
Yeah. Teemu from about 50.
Oh my goodness, this has been an incredible display of putting from Teemu out of Finland.
Wow.
Yeah, what a cool deal to be able to come here to Thailand and make it on this round 1 coverage with Philo on the disc golf guy. I mean, it's it's a huge honor to ever play on the camera and
to hit putts like that. And
yeah.
And Yutaro's putt too. That was no easy putt. That was 38 feet, and he just watched a 50-foot putt go in. So you have that thought like, oh, I gotta make it.
Yeah. Don't want to be big putted.
No, definitely not. All right, hole 21, 197 feet. This one is brought to you by Beer Vana, the biggest craft beer dealer in Thailand. That was cool that they came out to the tournament. This one is
tricky.
Very tricky. Lots of small lines. This route that Yutaro went down is probably the biggest line, but even still, you can see the trees definitely come into play.
Yeah, it looks like he just threw that one a little too inside. You really need to push it wide and have it stall. Johan is actually taking a different route, going directly at the pin. Let's see, he caught a tree and came up short. And Philo's taking that high stall route with that rock.
That's what Yutaro was looking for. Johan's choice of that straight gap is interesting because it brings so many more trees into play, but it is more direct, It's just player preference.
Yeah, choose the gap that you feel the most confident with.
Whoa, that was a great line. A little bit farther. Oh, and that one didn't come out how he wanted. Teemu from 30. A little bit wide on that one. I think that tree halfway between him and the basket caused him to put a little hyzer on it.
No. And this is starting to make a little more sense. I was really curious how Johan shot the score that he did. We got the chance to play with him, and he is an absolute shredder. He can throw the disc so well. And this course is just full of birdies, but you can see even great players can make mistakes on these 200-foot holes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Hits that one left side, doesn't stick.
But Philo carding another birdie, moving up to 14 under. He's got one hole left, and there's a good chance he's going to shoot 15 under in 22 holes.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Very unfortunate bogey there. So now we're headed into the last hole of the first round, hole 22, 197 feet. Also sponsored by Nigel's Barbecue. We're looking forward to some barbecue after this round. There is one main gap you want to go down, that left side late turn or a sidearm, but there also is a straight route. It's just quite a bit smaller. We saw Philo take it on the first round though, and he does again.
Oh, wow.
Little too deep.
Yeah, he might actually have to go to a straddle from those picnic tables right there.
And he actually is not allowed to move those chairs either, so he's gonna have a hard time standing around those.
Look out, chickens. The frisbee's flying in.
Yeah, it's cool to see all the chickens and the dogs, and there's even monkeys out at this course. It's really cool.
Oh my goodness, so close to the chicken right there. And it didn't even flinch. Beautiful putter shot from Johan.
Shout out to Alyssa for being out here taking photos. You guys can go see some photos from the tournament at avdiscgolf.com. Check out all the behind the scenes moments of the barbecue grilling out and our round of glow golf that we played. That was really fun.
Philo trying to collect himself here after cooking that AVR just a bit long. Taking his time, adjusting his stance a little bit. He definitely looks like he wants to kick that chair over. Getting settled into the routine.
Oh. Man. You could tell he had it in his head, and rightfully so, but you know, it's not going to hurt you. If you want to make that putt, you got to really push off and commit to kicking that chair in your backswing. Not something that you practice, though. A little bit low there from Yutaro. But a nice birdie from Johan. Moving him up to 6 under.
And a good showing from Teemu. He had some struggles, but really overall a fine display of putting.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and really cool to see some players that I've never seen play before join Philo on a feature card. Like you said, first one of the year. Seeing players from all over the world representing.
And again, shout out to Terry Miller for making it out here and filming it.
Love getting outside and challenging yourself to become better? How about spending time with family and friends, or just marveling at the pure joy of flight? Then you've come to the right place at the right time. Join the PDGA.